Welcome back to the 12 Myths About Photography series. Here we are in episode 7, so in case you have missed the previous episode, go back to my channel and check them out. They're really interesting, I promise. In order to stay tuned when next videos are published, go hit that subscribe button and we'll see what happens. So, here we come to myth number 7 of the whole series. One of my personal favorites. I love them all, of course, but I have some soft spots. So why everything you hear is not... There we are, myth number 7. Photoshop can fix anything and it's a total must. You know, there is something called Photoshop. It's amazing. It can even do the dishes if you teach it to, I think. But for some reason, non-photographers think that it can solve any kind of problem. I mean, I've been constantly told that by friends, acquaintances, even clients. Come on, you fixed that in Photoshop. Stop whining that it didn't work the first time. You will fix it. I know you'll fix it. Why are you doing this to us? Stop whining, for Christ's sake. Well, truth is that we all, most of us photographers, use Photoshop to cover up for our failures. I mean, most of us do. Well, it's one thing to use Photoshop to enhance an image that's already been created beautifully, but from time to time we use that to save images that in other ways cannot be saved. So here are a few examples of this and this. So, in case you didn't remember, this image is an exact copy of the one I took in 2009. Check out the previous video for the story. And this one was taken last year when I decided to recreate the shot. As you can see, awful weather conditions, and the one on the left is the original file as taken in camera. The one on the right is the slightly edited version. I mean slightly edited. This is not really heavy edit at all. This one is the final result. As you can see here, Photoshop basically saved the day. If this one was not exactly well processed, I would have deleted it because it wouldn't work. This one works because it's colorful. It, at least to me, it gives the impression of a hot summer day. It was really a hot summer day back then. So basically it does the trick. But without post-processing, this image would have been crappy. So basically, apart from people who are really Photoshop artists and are able to create amazing masterpieces, stitching a few images together, or creating an imaginary universe, or using their own Photoshop actions, most of us use Photoshop for cover-up and fixing. So there are some times when Photoshop can help, and there are some times when Photoshop just can't help. So for example, if you screwed focus, there is almost no way to fix it. So basically, normal people think we use Photoshop for anything, but there are times when you simply don't need it. But there are times when Photoshop helps. Here is a great example of that. It was taken in Vienna. It was really, really cold, snowing at dusk. So as you can see, it's a good image. Back then I shot handheld because I didn't have my tripod with me. It was a good architecture shot, a bit of violet. I love violet. We have a well-lit building in the background, so I was, well, pleased. So when I started editing that, I noticed that apart from having captured the snow which is on the ground, I managed to capture the snow that was falling from the sky. It was really huge snowflakes back then. So in this case, Photoshop helped create an amazing image out of a good image. But there are cases when Photoshop has to create a good image from a crappy image. Here is the amazing example for that. This place is called Belgradic Rocks, and it is located in northwestern Bulgaria, really popular place for Bulgarians, really picturesque place. Problem is that if you go there and take pictures, you have a small problem. Unless you sleep in town and you have to travel to Belgradic from somewhere else, you'll be having a problem with lighting. Well, problem is that when you go there, the most beautiful rocks will be in contre-jour, which means that the sun will be shining directly into your lens, making the sky really light and the rocks really dull and black. So basically at that point you don't really see the color or the patterns or textures or anything. So this was actually an image I'm, well, roughly not exactly pleased with, but it's a possible one. And the whole story started 3 years before this image was taken. That was the first time I visited Belgradchik with a decent camera in hand, and I was totally disappointed of the dull blue sky. As you know, dull blue skies are usually the photographer's nightmare. So I vowed to return again when it's cloudy, so that I don't have that much of sunlight which would screw my image. Well, so I did. 3 years later I returned, but it was not cloudy enough, it seemed. So basically when I took that, I was not exactly pleased with it, but it had to work somehow. So that was the point. And unfortunately, as you can see in the upper right corner, there was some sunlight that shouldn't have been there. So next time I'll go, I'll probably be going in a total thunderstorm cloud coming, so that I'm sure that nothing would ruin my images. So as we saw, Photoshop is a good way to enhance your images, but it cannot save you from your total failures. So it's better to create a good image in camera and then create a masterpiece using post-production than to create a crappy image in camera and then try to create something passable in post-production. So, having said all that, I would want to wish you good luck and stay focused. Go out and check the other videos from the series or other videos created for my Culture Crossroads project. Thank you for watching. See you next time.